Alright, here's my noon journal entry for 119. 8 o'clock here at the yellow line. 8:30 news came in here. Didn't want to mess around with any of that, although it wasn't too awfully volatile. But we had a nice little uptrend, so these were fairly easy. This could have been another nice second entry here. Let's see, yeah, that was just a little bit too close to the open. So I took this one on the open, assuming it was going to continue higher. So there's a few in there, a little uptrend. Then we got into the 30-minute opening range right here. It could never get above this 3 tries here with a couple of little failed breakouts. Then it traded back down through the opening range and just little lower, little lower, little lower. Now it's just sort of pulling back and going down, pulling back and going down. I traded a little past noon because I did take this one. That was a really nice pull back to the 20. And this is something I marked that I take occasionally. When there's
Pivot
not a
low.
lot of room to get out, I'll just go for 1 point instead of 2. That's why I have the white border around it. And you can see where it was going to bounce off of the 60 there, which is the 20 EMA on my higher time frame. Really not a whole lot to describe. It's the same setups, the same plan as always. This line here is right around the 3900. I got that off my second higher time frame chart, which is the 40,500. 9 times this one. They all go up by 3. My first highest time frame is 4,500, and then 3 times that is 14,500, something like that. Here's the 4,500, and you can see how the next highest time frame charts 20, which is the 60 here. You can see how the tops were hugging that. That happens quite often. It does a pretty good job of following the price. You can see the lower bound of it here yesterday. So I don't keep that on my 1500, which is my trading chart, but I have a second monitor with the 4500 on it, so I can see all three of those charts 20s, just expressed as 60, because they're all 3 times. And here's my highest time frame chart, and I don't really use this for anything but to be able to look back and see the days and not have to look at it daily. This just gives me a little more context of what was going on. That's why this line, I got that today here and put it on my
Pivot low 6K.
1500 tick.
Pivot low 6K.
See where the 3900 was a resistance across here. Then turned into support, and we almost tagged the 3900. I think we're a little ways off it. Let's see what the low is. 3901. We missed it by 1 3/4 points. So I always try to look on this chart. I just use this to try to look for possible targets. I don't really use it for anything else. And here's the daily gap chart. We filled that gap yesterday and then replaced it today with another one. Let me blow that up. So on January 10th, that was that last gap. Well, we filled that yesterday, came down and just barely filled it, and then this morning gapped down. So I'll move that line over, but for all intents and purposes, that's where it needs to be. We'll have to get back to that point there, 39.4375. If we start heading higher at some point, that'll be the next gap up to fill. So we got another gap. And I think that about does it. This afternoon probably be, I don't know, could be slow, just sort of meander around like it did yesterday, and then maybe a little bit of movement at 3, between 3 and 4. But other than just watching it, I probably won't mess with it anymore. There was plenty of trades the first 4, the 8 to 12 that I trade. Yeah, I changed my lines up a little bit. Instead of having them every hour, I just have the important ones. The 8, of course, here, 9:30, 10, which is 30-minute opening range, and then noon, which is where I try to stop. It will draw one at 3, from 3 to 4, showing that last hour.